All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go racing. Kenneth Passmore and Gerald Thanos Poole have the front row. Jess Chambers and Danny Passmore on the second. Mike Zakar and Chris Noblet on the third row. Warren Moore and Rod Potgieter on the fourth row. Clinton Chambers and Scott Kays round out your top 10. Kevin Bruner starts in 11th with Bill Hornback in 12th. Andrew Forrester starting in 13th, and John Saunders rounding out the 14-car field here at Michigan. These guys are going to be packed up tight, close, and going at it. Well, I knew you'd like Michigan, Thomas. Everybody rolls off pit road, not that far from Detroit Rock City. Maybe that could be your new nickname, Thomas. Kenneth Passmore was the driver that Kevin Bruner said would be the one to watch pull off the win. He definitely gets some tire saving in. However, I did talk to Gerald a little bit after that first race. He got a good feel for the tire wear and the strategy. He picked up 10 spots in that race. He was the biggest mover of that first race. Picked up 10 spots to come up almost into the top 5. So we'll see. Starting in second, can he just pull away here? Pace car leads him around through turns 3 and 4. The 2-mile D-shaped oval here at Michigan. Always great racing here. Multiple grooves through the turns. Strategy, drafting, it all comes into this one. They are in the restart zone, and green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Michigan. Cold tires into turn 1, and the exit of turn 2 here on cold tires always gets a little bit dicey. Kenneth Passmore trying to move up the track a little bit to get the better exit. He is going to clear Thanos here, and now Jess Chambers looks underneath for second. Chris Noblet trying to make some moves here as well. Danny Passmore's corn hub car, that just cracks me up from the moment I saw it. Andrew Forrester also picking up a spot here in the early going. John Saunders did not take to the grid. Gerald Poole pulls back up into second with Chambers now to third. Danny Passmore, though, in that 4-car is making a move past him. He clears. Jess Chambers now back into fourth. Meanwhile, Rod Potgieter is up 2 spots into 6th. He is starting to make his way forward. So is Danny Passmore, who is looking for second, but Kenneth Passmore, looking in his mirror, is loving the current view. He sees that side-by-side battling right now, trying to pull away. Danny Passmore just set the fastest lap. So far, a little bit of a bobble coming out of turn 2, but he keeps his foot in it. First few laps here, the drivers are going to be full throttle around, but after about the next lap, the tires are going to start going. The nose is going to want to push. They're going to have to manage the tire wear. And some of these drivers toward the back have been taking it easy since the drop of the green, letting those guys up front eat the tires up here early. Scott Kays already up, or just set the fastest lap, back in 10th place, with Kevin Bruner lurking not far behind. Chris Noblet also up a spot into 5th. Scott Kays in 10th, closes back in on that pack. Jess Chambers now down to the bottom, was almost on the apron there as they go too wide for 3 rows into turn 1. Danny Passmore, Kenneth Passmore side by side. I do know these guys are from the same area, so I'm guessing related somehow. They are definitely going at it here. Gerald Poole lurking right behind, and Danny Passmore clears Kenneth to take the lead for the first time. And Danny Passmore will lead a lap for the first time tonight, the first lap that Kenneth hasn't led. Chris Noblet on the high side trying to clear Mike Zakar. Rod Potgieter is up on that high side too, and we've got some moves going on as Clinton Chambers is looking for a way around. Warren Moore also lurking there in the 47. Looked like he had a bit of a run, but pulled down the line. That does tend to happen a little bit with these cars. You get a big run through the turn, you come out of the turn, you hit that wall of air. Once you get clean air and it slows it up, you really have got to have a lot of momentum as Zakar, holy cow. Noblet and Zakar almost touching through 1 and 2. Gerald Poole heads off into turn 3 up on Kenneth's back bumper. Warren Moore still lurking back behind Zakar. Rod Potgieter now up into 6, up 2 spots. Man, they are working it. Zakar was all over Rod's back bumper. And we mentioned Clinton Chambers. He has got a bit of a run. Look to the high side on Warren a moment ago. Couldn't get in there. Danny Passmore, meanwhile, starting to pull a little bit of an opening. He's got a couple car links on Kenneth. Warren Moore finally gets a bit of a run. Now down underneath the car. Scott Case currently runs in 10th place. 9 laps into this thing, only 2 leaders so far, but battles everywhere as Gerald Poole tries to reclaim 2nd place. Now that they're about to start lap number 10, the tire wear and strategy will start to show quite a bit here. We'll easily be able to see who is saving the most tires over the next 10 laps, and expect to see all these drivers on pit road between lap 19 and lap 21. Their fuel window about 20 to 25 laps, more likely around 20 to 22 laps. Kevin Bruner has now made his way up into 10th. He has come by Scott Kays. They are side by side. Kays on the high side trying to fight back. And Potgieter had slipped back to 8th as back underneath trying to take 7th from Warren Moore. He's going to get it. Meanwhile, Mike Zakar, Chris Noblet, still side by side. That is allowing those cars behind to close up just a little bit. Danny Passmore, meanwhile, has opened up almost a half-second lead over Kenneth. Oh, Zakar looked a little bit loose off turn 2 there in the 12th. Gerald Poole now looking back underneath of Kenneth Passmore, trying to reclaim second place. Andrew Forrester started back in 13th, now up into 12th. Meanwhile, Clinton Chambers gets by Scott Kay. He is starting to make his way forward, setting his sights on Kevin Bruner in 9th. John, from what we heard from Kevin Bruner, as they mentioned in pre-race, they do have a 10x drive-through penalty in the league rules, and it has only happened 1 or 2 times over the last 3 years. This is one of, if not the cleanest league on iRacing. Gerald Poole, Kenneth Passmore battling. Poole gets by, and now Passmore trying to cross over as they head down the back straightaway. Just Chambers is starting to close back in. Meanwhile, this group from about 5th back to 11th place, all right there together, side by side, inches apart. As I mentioned in pre-race, listening to the drivers talk during that first fun race they had earlier, man, they really pride themselves on how clean they are. Hey, good evening, Kevin. Yeet indeed. Mike Zakar now back up to 5th, Noblet in 6th, Warren Moore in 7th, Rod Potgieter in 8th, Kevin Bruner in 9th, and Clinton Chambers in 10th. That big group starting to settle down just a little bit. Jess Chambers has caught back up now to Kenneth Passmore in 3rd. Gerald Poole sits in 2nd, now 7/10 of a second behind Danny Passmore, who is pulling away. Noblet just shot the gap to hold on to 6th. But now Warren goes up the middle. They're 3 wide down the front straightaway. Warren Moore trying to get a 2-for-1 here as they go off into turn 1. Kevin Bruner taking opportunities as they open up the running that middle line. Bruner now up 3 spots into 8th. There are a lot of Kevins. Danny Passmore's lead over the last lap has started to shrink. Thanos is coming. Meanwhile, Jess Chambers and Kenneth Passmore side by side. Jess now trying to make his way just to 3rd. He clears. Just a few laps away from green flag stops, and I'm confident we will see green flag stops here. Meanwhile, Gerald is almost to the bumper on Passmore. But both of them might want to worry. Kevin Bruner just took 6th place. Up 5 spots from starting in 11th. He did say he did not get the qualifying run he wanted, but with a little strategy and a little speed, he thinks he could still get it done tonight, and he is pro. Holy cow. Caution is out. 22 laps to go. The first caution. Rod Potgieter, Warren Moore involved. Let's take a look. Oh, look like Warren just gets a push. Warren just gets a push coming through turns 3 and 4. Comes across the nose of Potgieter, and that ended his race. Well, we will see everybody on pit road here. And they will be able to go the distance on fuel from here. Tell you, one driver did not want to see that caution was Gerald Poole, but that definitely is going to help Danny Passmore, Jess Chambers, and Kenneth Passmore. Kevin Bruner has got to be loving this. A quick stop by his team. He's already up 5 spots. A quick stop by his team here could make all the difference in the world. Wash your hands, Kevin. Everybody hits pit road, 4 tires and fuel. They will run it to the end. And I can tell you, the 30-lap race they ran earlier had no cautions. They were not expecting any cautions here. Everybody is in. Now the question is, who gets off pit road first? And it looks like it will be Danny Passmore pulling back out with the lead. Gerald Poole comes out in second. Jess Chambers third. Kenneth Passmore in fourth. Mike Zakar comes out fifth. Bruner in sixth. Clinton Chambers comes out in seventh. Noblet in eighth. Andrew Forrester, the big winner on pit road this time. He is now in ninth. Scott Kays in 10th. Bill Hornback comes out in 11th. Rod Potgieter and Warren Moore both still on pit road.
Hey, Doug, how's the action looking from up there? Because where I was in the pack here, it was intense.
It was definitely intense, man. You guys are a lot of side-by-side racing, and other than that incident, nobody was touching each other. That was some really impressive driving.
Yeah, it was quite intense back in the pack here, 7th to 10th. We were all over each other.
From at one point, from 6th to 10th, you guys were just one person would just shoot up the middle, take a 6th place. Then everybody got back too wide, and then the next person came through. It was extremely entertaining watching you guys.
Oh, I'm glad the fans are enjoying it.
It definitely is, and I know a couple of people have already said they are checking out your Facebook group, man. I think you're going to have some new recruits before long.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, send them to the website, tell them to fill out an application, join Facebook. We definitely will talk to everybody.
Well, man, good luck. You're already up, 6 spots into 5th. Now you got to fight your way up just a few more. A great run so far, Kevin.
Thanks, Doug. Time to get back to business.
Good luck, buddy. Kevin Bruner having an awesome run here tonight. Currently sits in 6th, up 5 spots. Biggest mover of the night. Danny Passmore, Gerald Poole, they had a dogfight going on. When this thing stays green, Gerald did have the advantage on the long run. No, they have been around for a couple of years now. Check them out at homemotorsports.com. Fill out an app. Here we go. Pace car is back in. Danny Passmore in control. They are in the zone. They fire, and green flag is back in the air. Everybody coming up to speed. John Saunders is actually, he did not take the grid. He is now rolling off pit road. He's just going out to get some laps in and have a little fun with the boys. Meanwhile, Gerald Poole losing second. Jess Chambers has the run on the bottom. And that group toward the back, Kenneth Passmore has dropped all the way back to 5th place. Bruner back in 6th. Zakar now up to 4th. Now remember, that group from about 5th on back is where we saw all that action earlier. So don't count them out yet. Andrew Forrester also up 4 spots now into 9th, making his way forward. Gerald goes for the crossover out of 2. Might have been a little bit loose, but kept his foot in it. Mike Zakar hooks up into the draft. He's coming forward. Gerald's got the run underneath for 2nd place. Danny Passmore once again looks in his mirror, sees that battling, and knows that's going to give him a chance to pull away. Everybody else single file back behind for the moment. Clinton Chambers now up into 8th. Andrew Forrester 9th. Scott Kays in 10th. Bill Hornback in 11th. And we had one in the wall. That was the 5 of Scott Kays. Just kissed the wall coming out of 2. But just barely kissed it because he kept his momentum up. Still has the nose in, looking underneath Forrester. Jess Chambers is now caught up to Danny Passmore once he reclaimed 2nd from Gerald. Mike Zakar in 4th, closing in. Kevin Bruner lurking right behind in 6th place. Kenneth Passmore in 5th. Oh, Kevin, I have to agree with that. Long green flag runs and a lot of battling like this is awesome. Plus, who doesn't want a corn hub car? It even looks like a corn on the cob. Kenneth Passmore, who drifted back, he led early on. He is now down to the bottom looking for 4th place. Zakar trying to hold him off. The driver that won the first race tonight ran the middle line most of that race. Looks like the guys up front all running that middle to low middle line, trying to conserve tires but keep the momentum up. Andrew Forrester in that 2nd group, still trying to find a way past Clinton Chambers. Scott Kays, despite kissing the wall, still in the fight. Now Bill Hornback gets into the fight as well as he looks underneath Scott for 10th. Bruner currently leading that 2nd group, losing a little bit of the draft off Passmore ahead. Kays a little loose off 2 that time. Looked like he had a 4-wheel drift going. Forrester slid up high going into turn 3 and now has a run on Clinton Chambers. Can he make the pass before they get to 1? Noblet still in this fight as well. Chris Noblet currently running in 7th. No, Jared, just a fun race. But could it be something that comes back in the very near future is the question. And you know one of the drivers there, Jared, Gerald Thanos Poole, currently sits in third. Mike Zakar, meanwhile, in fourth place, has managed to hold off Kenneth Passmore, and it looks like Hornback has had a problem. Scott Kay still trying to find a way past Andrew Forrester. He's had some great runs down underneath, just can't get it completed. Gerald Poole just took second place away from Danny Passmore. We saw this on that first run, the first 10 laps. Gerald wasn't able to keep up with the leader, but man, that last 10 laps, he ran him down. If not for that caution coming out right at the perfect time, Gerald may very well have been leading this thing. Kenneth Passmore still all over Zakar. Kevin Bruner had lost a little bit of ground to the lead pack, just over 1 1/4 seconds, but now that gap is starting to close. It is down to about 1.1 seconds. And with Passmore and Zakar battling ahead, that is definitely going to help Bruner and Noblet, as well as Clinton Chambers, close the gap. Bruner still the biggest mover of the race so far, up 5 spots into 6th. Andrew Forrester up 4 spots into 9th. And Rod Podgeter is back out on track. Warren Moore, though, is still on pit road after that incident. Danny Passmore still leading this thing, but has Gerald closing in back behind. Jess Chambers in third is about to have Zakar and Kenneth Passmore right on his bumper, and Bruner is getting closer. You talk about long-run tire conservation and strategy, Bruner and Poole have got it figured out here tonight. Bruner did not get the qualifying run he needed tonight. However, Poole did. Meanwhile, Passmore and Zakar going at it again. Passmore got past. Zakar is trying to cross over and look back underneath. Passmore holds him off for the moment, now in fourth. Meanwhile, Danny Passmore out front is trying to find a line that'll keep Thanos behind him. And here comes Danny Passmore to the start-finish line. 5 laps to go, folks. Interesting note, and you heard it talked about when we talked to Kevin Bruner earlier in the race, the rule about not calling other drivers out. We saw that incident on with about 22 to go, and you know there was no argument on the radio. The admins will review the incident later, and that'll be that. Their decision being final, and man, you gotta love it when everybody can just race, talk calmly, and just have a great experience out here. Jess Chambers in third. Kenneth Passmore back to fourth. Bruner now looking for fifth. He goes by Zakar on the high side. Bruner has really done a great job of saving his tires. He passed Zakar like Zakar was standing still. That may very well be true, Jared. as Gerald is now just a tenth and a half behind the leader. Bruner is closing in on Kenneth Passmore and Jess Chambers, and he's reeling them in very quickly. 0.6 of a second back now. Danny Passmore continues to lead. He has led every lap since taking the lead from Kenneth Passmore. But will he be able to hold on for 2 more laps? Gerald has run him down, but does he have enough to pass? And, man, Bruner is gaining so quickly. Could he come into play? Bruner is about 2.5 seconds out of the lead. Definitely looking at a podium finish here tonight. Has Kenneth Passmore and Jess Chambers just ahead as Danny and Gerald go through 3 and 4. And out of turn 4, Danny Passmore sees the white flag one more time around. Gerald now up to the high side, trying to get any speed he can into 1 and 2. Bruner is almost to Passmore's back bumper. Danny Passmore drops down to the bottom to control the entry into turn 3. Gerald's going to try and make it work up top. He's got a run, but Passmore has the bottom line. Gerald has the nose ahead as they come out of 4. And out of turn 4, it's going to be close. Gerald Thanos Poole gets the win at Michigan. Danny Passmore comes home in second. Jess Chambers in third. Kenneth Passmore comes home in fourth. Kevin Bruner, biggest mover of the night, up 6 spots into 5th. Wow, what a race. 40 laps, 1 caution. Very, very few incident points out there. And non-stop battling all night long. What a finish we saw here. Let's see. Looks like we only, of the top 3, only have our winner to talk to. But first, let's talk to Kevin Bruner real quick. Hey, Kevin, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got a copy on you, Doug.
Hey, a great race, and honestly, had that gone a few more laps, I think you'd have came through and at least podiumed that one.
Yeah, I gave up a lot of track position on that. I had a window open up on me going into, I don't even know if it was 1 or 2, and I had to clear the window, and I got up real close to that wall.
Well, man, watching you charge through, especially at that last 10 laps, was a really impressive run. It was obvious you had the long run speed, you and Gerald, but man, a great run and honestly a great league. There's a lot of folks interested.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, the winner, Gerald, there, he's quite a racer. I know he races in a couple other leagues. He actually owns a team in a couple money leagues. He's a serious racer. Danny Passmore, there's a guy with some racing history, him and his brother Kenny from Virginia. Kenny actually come from SCCA road racing. That's his background. He did that for real. And Dan was his chief mechanic. So it must transfer over because the brothers do a hell of a job. Jess Chambers, this is his first night with us. His dad races with us regularly, trying to talk Jess into coming over, maybe lowering our average age a little. And I'm more than happy with the top 5 with these guys. This is a tough group. Top 5, something to be proud of.
Well, man, it definitely was. Congratulations, an awesome league and an awesome race tonight, buddy.
All right, thanks, Doug. We're looking forward to maybe doing some more events with you there, and I appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. All right, let's talk to our winner. Gerald, I know you didn't want to see that caution because you were coming, but it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was taking a little bit different line than everybody else was, and I think it was really helping me save a lot of tire there the last seven or so laps going into at the end of the run. And then, yeah, when the caution came out, it was more like fuel, and I was just kind of pacing behind and kind of measuring him up and was having a hard time finding a way around him. And then coming out of 4, I was able to get a good run on him and got a fender around him and was able to drag race him to the finish line.
Well, it definitely worked. I was beginning to wonder if that high line would work at all as you came through on that last lap. But man, you managed to get it done. Some guy named Jared said you were inevitable, and you proved it once again tonight.
Oh, yeah, it was a fun one. XCal season coming up to end here. I'll be able to run some more with these guys coming up, so looking forward to that. Thanks, Kevin, for putting this on. Had a good time, man. It's good stuff.
It was a great race, man. Congratulations. Great win, Gerald.
Thanks, sir.
Guys, don't forget to check them out at homemotorsports.com. If you're interested, fill out an application. Check them out on Facebook. And thank you guys so much. Thanks to Kevin Bruner for having us on board tonight. This was a lot of fun. Some great racing. Some very clean racing. Some of the cleanest racing you're going to see on Facebook. Or on iRacing, rather. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Good evening, JJ Moneypenny. Thank you for watching. Hope everybody had a great time watching this. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget tomorrow night, the Friday Fun League, where you guys can come out, goof off, blow off some steam, and not take anything seriously. Hope everybody has a wonderful night. Y'all have a great night.